Moving on to question 13. We have on May 1, 2012, Payne & Co. issued 500,000 of 7% bonds at 103, which are due April 30th, 2022. 20 detachable stock warrants entitling the holder to purchase for 40,000 one share of Payne's common stock, $15 par value, were attached to each $1,000 bond. The bonds without the warrants would sell at 96. On May 1, 2012, the fair value of Payne's common stock was $35 per share, and the warrants was $2 per share. So this is for the next two questions. So notice that the issuance happened at 103. So we have, we have 500,000 they issued at 103. Okay, so we have this amount here is the total. Now, fair market value of bonds, we're saying that they were trading at 96. So the bonds were trading at 0.96. So we have 480,000, right? So that's the bonds. Now the warrants were trading at what? $2 a piece, but how many do we have? We have here, let's see, there's a 20 for each 1,000 bond, okay? And we have how many? We have 500 of these 1,000 pieces. Okay, so we have 20 for each piece, right? And we have 500 of these pieces, and they're each worth $2. $2. Okay, so fair market value of the warrants is 20,000, right? It looks like. So total fair market value of the warrant looks like it's 4%. Now the issuance was 515. So 4% of 515 gives us 2,600. So the idea here is that, again, first we look and see what was the issuance amount, which is just par times 103 here. That's the issuance amount, right? Then we look at fair market value for both of these. We see fair market value of the bonds without the warrants is 96 cents on the dollar, which is 96 times 500,000 gives us 480. Now, fair market value of the warrants is 500 times 20 times 2, because there's 500 pieces of 1,000 lots, and each of those 1,000 is detaching into 20 of them. So, and now $2 a piece, so we're getting 20. All right, so that's 4% of the total fair value. And now I just apply that 4% to the 515 that I previously saw. Right, so I'm getting 20,600 total here. Okay. So the answer for this one is going to be C. So now moving on to the next one, on May 1, 2012, Payne should record the bonds with what discount, right? So the idea is that, let's see, what do we have here? So the value of bonds that we assigned, we first have to assign the value to bonds. So let's go to the previous one. If I assigned this much to the warrant, right? I'm going to assign to the bond, I'm going to assign 515 times 0.96. Because that's the idea, that's the rest of the piece. You know, this is how much we issued, this is the share of the bond. Now, par value is 500,000, right? Par value is 500,000 in general. So, it looks like, you know, since we have a bond that was issued, essentially we're going to assign 494,400 to the bond. Okay, we must assign a discount for the remaining piece. So the discount is going to be 5,600. And the idea behind that, answer is B. The idea behind this one is that, look, we have a bond here that with a par of 500,000. We are allocating 96% of the issuance amount to the bond rather than the warrant. And we know the par is 500,000. So this is just the difference between the assignment of fair value which is based on 96% of the issuance amount, and then the difference, which is our discount. So keep in mind, this 515 is the cash amount that came through. So we have to look and see when we allocate to our bonds, use the percentage of fair value, which is going to be, this is how I get the 96. I just take a section of the total fair value as allocated to the bonds. So for this one, the answer is going to be the 5600 B.